coming in for a landing. How about you? What do you think, Thomas? Is it another beautiful day in the neighborhood? Wasn't really a whole lot of color in this morning's sunrise, but I figured I'd come on here a little earlier than usual because we have us a low tide, and people see low tides in our lives as, well, yeah, you really hate when you're down and out. As my friend James Crouch put it, no one knows when you're down and out. I want to show you some interesting cloud patterns up there. Is it the shadow on the clouds that create the tall buildings, the cities in the sky? Do you watch for the signs and symbols flying by? So, as we were discussing low times, low tides in our lives, we have to look at, what do we see? Do you see trash, or do you see treasure? And maybe that might be what the problem is. You are choosing to see the icky, the sludge, the trash, the decomposing that our self-will or others had left behind, whether they were leaving, passing through. What do you do? Well, during a low tide, I choose to look at what treasures we can find. It's kind of like dusk and dawn. Do you want to get up and see the sunrise? Do you like to see the sunset? And what does that mean? Well, I don't know if you can see them, but I can feel those no-see-ums that like to bite your sweet meat at sunrise and sunset. So with everything, there is always a trade-off of some sort. And even though I have my incense going, those no-see-ums are still, they're still attacking. I know one of these days I'm just going to get my tripod out and I'm just going to set it down. And that's just going to be how it is. But that's when I get another phone that will take my earplugs or microphone, and so you can hear better. I do have a few people who are saying about the audio, and let me make sure, of course, that it's turned up. I don't know if that helped any, but at least on here it's turned up, and We all go through challenges. So, what do you do with your challenges? What do you do with the low tides? Do you go out there and focus on the trash that you find? Or do you pick up the trash and put it in a receptacle? If more people cleaned up after their own trash, yeah, that would be like really amazing. And even though one person's trash is another person's treasure, well, maybe Mother Earth doesn't want it decomposing in the fresh waters, because that's just all the more purification process that's needed in the long run. Yeah. So what kind of trash are you recycling today? And that's a big part of in an expendable society where too many do look at, the disposability of people and things, even places. Oh man, I think I've had enough of itchy insects to last me. I'm gonna light me a cigarette and hope. I don't know how many of you have been following, and there is a caterpillar that's very toxic. And it had attacked me. This week. I say, hang on. Oh. I know it's nothing like jerking around, but I'm telling you, I still have red rashes under my neck and on my chest from this caterpillar. I mean, I didn't realize that it was a caterpillar that had fallen out of the tree. I thought it was a bee. And then it was down my shirt. All right, hang on, people. Ooh. I really don't like chemical. Ooh. But like I said, got my arm and I'm still itching from, it's been, I think, 5 days since I was attacked by a caterpillar with red head and, 2 long antennas and 5 white little, or light yellow puffballs on its back. And I'm not sure if that's where it came from. I don't even know what it was called technically. All I know is I have never experienced a caterpillar to be so toxic. And, it's like, how do you choose to see it? Well, like I was telling my mama last night, I'm choosing to look at it as, like a bee. Excuse me, Tom. Thank you, Tom. I'm choosing to look at it like that bee therapy that they have, where you take stings of a bee in order to help heal you of, I don't even remember what it was that it was, used as a healing. But as it has been written, every plant has been put on here on Mother Earth to cure us, to heal us. And I see how they're trying to take away all this, natural healing, hush it up in preference to a drugged up society. And we're at a low tide in our life. We're at a low tide on our planet Earth. And we need to look at what these low tides bring us. And is it something that we can recycle? I've seen some great works of art made by people who have recycled trash. But I've also seen people find treasure during low tides, be it their own or be it from someone who lost theirs during a low tide. That was one of those things about Bike Week. Bike Week is now over, was over on the 12th, and this is being recorded on the 26th of March. And there's a lot of campgrounds. And I've said you haven't partied till you party with the big boys. Sorry, I just had an itch. Oh my gosh. I'm telling you. Oh. Oh, you don't know how I have itched from that toxic, from the, caterpillar, and now those little no-see-em mosquitoes. Oh, baby. Oh, all to bring you a sunrise on low tide. Oh, the sacrifice. Oh, the passion of the Christ. Symbolically, yeah. And that's what it is, symbolically. How do you choose to see your life around you? Are you looking at the treasure? You looking at those oyster beds that are being exposed during a low tide? Are you looking at that treasure? What can you see on a low tide in your life? Do you choose to focus on what trash you can find? Or do you choose to see the treasures that Mother Nature does present, even in a time of compost, in a time of great compost? Because it is the compost in life that makes the best fertilizer for growth. So when you're going through those low tides, and they are cycles, what's low becomes high, what's high becomes low. And those are those cycles, and they happen. They happen. Whether it's a moon cycle, whether it's a couple times a day cycle, it helps to go within to see where our treasure lies. And it's all about attitude and our way of choosing to see things that matter most. Other people may look at you and look at your life and say, oh man, they do not have their life together. because I would not choose to live my life the way they do. Yeah, that's true. And I really wouldn't want to be a slave to society living your life either. How about that one? Do you want to live free? Or not? Simple as that. Because whether you want to call it revelation, whether you want to call it the end times, whatever you want to call it, in the great cycle of what we call life on planet Earth, times, they are a-changing. And you either go with the flow or glow with the flow. But either way, that current's gonna take you one way or another. And you got a riptide in there, that current's gonna take you down and drown you. And even if you have a rip current in there, you don't fight it, you go with it, and you wait for a break, and you take it. And you gain your strength back. And you build yourself up again. Because planetarily, that's what we got going on. We got a lot of new beginnings. So hopefully you've been planting some seeds. Girls. Girls. Hey. Excuse me. Girls. Who are you barking at? Who are you barking at? Excuse their rude behavior. Yeah, guess what? It is a dog. Stop. Stop. You've seen those dogs before. Stop. Stop. It's not nice. No, it's not nice. Thank you. Oy, 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 oy. They're gonna get used to other animals yet. Sorry. Sorry if my point of view was a little bit slanted there. Especially if you were watching those fish jumping out there. Yeah. Isn't that interesting? How do you choose to see it, trash or treasure? Good or bad, right or wrong? Did you notice how those fish are biting when the mosquitoes is biting too? Yeah. Sometimes you have to be willing to get bit, to get scratched, to get hurt in some form or fashion in order for the goal to come through, for us to be victors. And not choose to stay living as a victim of the muck that we have allowed to gather or we've chosen to stay in a place where it's gathering. It's our free will. It's our choice. And we do have some who would like to disturb our serenity. Rody. Yeah, the dog's back within eyesight again. Excuse me, Rody. Rody. Well, what you gonna do when you got a barking dog? What'd you say? Put a gag in it? A muzzle on it? A muzzle on it? Don't complain anymore. I'm gonna have to find some big friendly dogs who don't get upset over yapping chihuahuas who act aggressively, and the big dogs would just like roll them around, you know, as little balls, as little play toys. I think that would solve it. I mean, Sophie and Carmela, they've already met a mean dog, and they're lucky that they have lived to tell the story. Rhodey still has not had that experience, and that's Rhodey that you're hearing. She's more aggressive. I think that she's still, well, yeah, I would have to say she's a little bit more aggressive than the other ones. So, you know how I am about that rear view mirror. Let's see, can we get that? Oops. Can we get it in there? Those splashing, you're hearing the dogs. The dogs are getting in the water, enjoying their day. She's throwing things in for the dogs to play. Although I would not want to have my dogs in the water, even though my girls are, you know, but an appetizer. From what I've been hearing about the bull sharks in the water. But then there was a dad who was in there and playing with his kid. He was out on the boat earlier. And, you know, it's like, do you fear your life? And, what could possibly happen? Or do you just live your life happy? I know I've swung off of rope swings and landed in the intercoastal many times. And no fear of, you know, whatever is in there. I mean, yeah, there's sharks in there. Yeah, there's sea turtles. Yeah, there's stingrays. But if you're splashing and making a lot of noise and, you know, well, I guess how hungry are they? I mean, you know, low tide, there's enough of fish out there that they don't have to be coming after, you know, real big prey. Oh, looks like it's gonna be another hot day. And I'm gonna enjoy hanging in the shade by the water. 'Cause I want to. 'Cause I can. Because I got free will. And I choose to live happy with a smile on my face as if it were my last. How do you choose to live your life? Are you making plans and your plans get changed and you're gritting your teeth and you're peed off because it's not going your way? Because the only time that I have a bad day is when things don't go my way. And then I gotta remind myself who's in charge. Am I playing God? Am I trying to roll people